Hmm. What should my next video be about? Let's see, I did a modded generations video. Can't record more frontiers until I get it edited. What if I did something with the Wither Storm? I mean, there is a lot of misinformation about it online. What if I create a timeline? This is gonna be great! This is gonna be my best video yet! Nothing built can last forever, and anything, no matter how great, fades with time. Now for some things, this is true almost immediately. But for other things, they just refuse to die. An example of this would be the Wither Storm, a creature that despite the odds has managed to rise out of the ashes of a chaotic beginning, somehow even persisting to this day. After all, everything in the universe begins with just a block, and what comes of those blocks is up to who wields them. They have the power to create something beautiful or destroy everything around it. Come with me, and today I will relay the story of Minecraft Story Mode's Wither Storm to you. Chapter 1: Rise of Story Mode. Minecraft Story Mode is a point-and-click action-adventure game where the decisions you make ultimately will impact the outcome of the story. In Minecraft Story Mode, you play as a character named Jesse. Well, I guess I should say spoiler warning, but considering this is like a 6-year-old game and nobody plays it anymore, yeah, you've been warned. Continue at your own risk, I guess. Anyway, where was I? Alright. The story consists of a man named Jesse who wants to win a building competition. And depending on your actions, he either does or doesn't win. But after that happens, you go to a celebration called EnderCon where a devious man named Ivor summons the Wither Storm. As you can see, it's like a regular Minecraft Wither, except it has a command block in its chest. And as you can see, it devours everything around it, slowly growing bigger and bigger. Then Jesse and his group of friends have to go on a death-defyingly dangerous adventure to save the world from this ever-growing storm. With much tragedy to speak of, yet plenty of hilarious moments. This truly was a revolutionary game. At least, it was as time, but we'll get into that later. Eventually, they did defeat the Wither Storm. But their stories did not end there. They went on many more wild adventures to islands in the skies, to haunted mansions with white pumpkins, to corrupted technology. Heck, even to just corrupted humans that want to bully other humans just for gain. To even, arguably, one of their greatest quests, saving the world from a Mauer? Really? A power-mad, corrupted, godlike figure that has the power to alter reality around it. the admin, and their adventures were sealed in time, forever noted as legends. Or at least, that's how the story goes. For now, at least. Is what they don't tell you. Is how this great game, this game of epic proportions, fell into the dust. But before I show you how it fell, I want to show you. Here are, in my opinion, some of the highlights of Minecraft Story Mode Witherstorm moments. Let's go.
Creature, attack!
Everyone stay calm.
Creature, retreat! It's protecting itself. Without the command block exposed, the potion is useless.
Can't defeat that thing. Not on my own. Everyone's running away.
Help me! Guys! Stay together!
Jesse, help me!
I can't hold on!
Stay together, everyone. We'll be safe as soon as we get to my temple. The temple is just up ahead. Follow me.
Oh! Holy crap! Is that your Witherstorm?
Is it destabilizing?
No! No! Worry about what they're running away from.
I feel like that got bigger.
It did.
Open up and say ah! Yeah!
out of here now.
This way.
Look out! Your head's gonna be abandoning your body if you don't turn around and run. Whatever you do, don't look back.
Ah! I looked.
Chasing me!
It's chasing all of us. Oh no!
Jesse, look out!
Meet again, command block. Now it's time to destroy you. Holy moly! This thing won't die! This thing once and for... Reuben! Hold on, buddy! Reuben! No! Ah!
And that's some of the best moments from Minecraft story mode that involve the Wither Storm. Anyways, moving on. Chapter 2: Fall of Story Mode. The fall of Minecraft story mode is, needless to say, an interesting one. On one side, it was great. It had everything going for it. Some of the biggest YouTubers were making videos on it, and it seemed like a really fun experience. At the same time, not everyone liked it. People like Down to the M and Popular MMOs, they loved the game. They played it, and to them it was really great, but unfortunately to others like Technoblade, it wasn't so good, and the hate they got from it is part of the reason that Minecraft story mode has fallen. But it doesn't help that the company Telltale Games, the creators of Minecraft story mode, went bankrupt. Yeah, with such a popular game, they still went bankrupt, and the game was taken off of every platform. Well, technically you can still buy a hard copy for like $100 on eBay, but come on, who's gonna do that? Now you can still get the game, just not through any official site. But some hope did remain, as it was ported over to Netflix, which the footage you see in the background now is of the Netflix edition of Minecraft story mode. But, alas, none of it worked. And then Season 2 was released, and that did give it a brief spot back into the spotlight. A brief spot, just for a second. But it fell down quickly again. And, well, there's no Season 3, and I don't think there's a reason for it to come back. I don't think it ever will. Not with the amount of hate it got, with, well, the unfortunate situation with Telltale. But, by some miracle, even though Minecraft Story Mode crashed and burned. The Wither Storm, in all of its immense, beautiful, wither stormy glory, somehow remained. I mean, somehow it is the only thing that people seem to remember and like from Minecraft Story Mode. I've heard multiple reasons, just of the concept of a world-devouring monster being cool, to it being the only somewhat unique idea Telltale had. And yet somehow it still remains, through the ashes of Story. But you may ask, with Story Mode being down, what left is there for it to, what left is for the Wither Storm? Well, we'll get into that right now. Chapter 3, Maps and Commands. The first command we have is this command. It's a pretty famous command block command that would allow you to actually summon a wither storm. And it was quite the thing. Like, really, it was quite unique. In order to kill it, you'd have to kill withered minions, and they'd drop TNT shards. You had to drop them on the ground to blow up the storm, and it would kill it. Although for this wither storm in particular, that popular MMO did, it got a bit glitchy, but it's fine, I think. Anyways, it basically started off in its regular wither form and then grew into its destroyer form, in which it would be until you defeat it. If you could defeat it, cause man, it was something. This was a part of my childhood. Man, I miss this. Next up, we have a map called Wither Storm Run by Mick Mistaken. And as you can see, this footage is by Dan TDM. Great YouTuber, great man. Anyways, Wither Storm Run is a game where basically you play as Jesse, and the Wither Storm will hunt you down, and there will be things like holes in the ground it eats, tractor beams, tentacles, bombs, you know all the stuff. And basically, you have to press different button prompts that pop up on screen at just the right timing to dodge everything and survive the Wither Storm. Really, it's really quite unique and impressive for its time, with all these different commands. Yeah, I don't know how you do this kind of crap. If I tried, I'd crash Minecraft instantly with 10,000 different viruses. Anyway, moving on. Now we have a map that is also made by Mick Mistaken. And this time, instead of running from the Wither Storm, you're trying to kill it. Now, basically, how it works is the Wither Storm will shoot skulls at you and, use tractor beams on you, and you have to protect Jesse while he builds an elytra for you to, fly into the heart of the Wither Storm and destroy the command block. You will also have to collect Wither Storm fragments, which are small chunks of the Wither Storm that fall down, and you use them to create a Wither Storm sword, which is used to attack the Wither Storm. Now, again, this is freaking impressive. Like, I don't know how you do this, how you get the custom model all into Minecraft without using mods. Like, seriously? How? Again, if I tried to do this, I'd install, like, I don't know, 50 different viruses. That's not a good... And look at this. Wither skulls can even just come down and attack you. This is beautiful. Beautiful, I say, beautiful. Okay, moving on, I guess. Next up, we have a Wither Storm map that put you inside the Wither Storm. And, well, it actually had you fight, or it was a recreation of the fight from Minecraft Story Mode in Minecraft with no mods. How do you do this kind of stuff? It's so neat. And it would spawn different tentacle monsters that were basically just retextured zombies, but we don't have to get into the specifics. And you'd have to kill them, and they'd drop ladders, and you'd use the ladders to climb up the middle of the Wither Storm so you could hit the command block again. And then, just like in story mode, the whole belly would flip upside down, and then you'd have to get tractor beamed, you know how it goes. And then you'd have to do a small amount of parkour to get to the command block. And really, this is just such a unique thing. Like, how do people do this? Like, look at that head. Look at this. Look at this epic cinematic shot this man got. Which, thank you, by the way, for getting such good shots. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right. Look at the head. Look, its eye is a nether portal. You can actually get tractor beamed, or wait, give it a second. Yep, it loads, gets tractor beamed. Then you have to do a small amount of parkour, and boom! That's how the fight went. It's really just a beautiful thing. And that's all the maps. But if that's all the maps, then what comes next? Well, I'll show you what comes next. Chapter 4: Mods and Add-ons. Here we have another mod, or our first mod. It is a simple enough Wither Storm mod, as you can see. I'm not 100% sure on its name. It's either just called Wither Storm mod or Minecraft Story Mode mod. Or Wither Storm mod, Minecraft Story Mode mod. I really don't know. But basically, this mod added, well, the Wither Storm, and basically it would spawn in its destroyer form, and then as you would kill it, it would go into its different phases, and to be honest, it's nothing compared to the mods we have today, and honestly, it really wasn't that great. It didn't do the Wither Storm much justice, but hey, I mean, it's what you had, and you'd made do with what you had back then. Next up, we have what is, to my knowledge, the very first Wither Storm add-on. Basically what it did is, as you can see, it retextured ghasts to be the Wither Storm in phase 1 or 0, depending on how you look at it. Just flying around with command block. Then, if you actually summoned a Wither, it would summon the Wither Storm in its destroyer form. And look at that. This is the very first Wither Storm add-on. Goes by the name Wither Storm Red and or Wither Storm Purple. And basically, it didn't really add anything except for retexturing the withers and stuff, but it did increase the hitbox size, and oh man, this thing packed a punch. Like seriously, it would destroy anything, and it was about 10 times harder to beat than a normal wither. Man, I miss the days when it was just this simple. Now we have the Minecraft Story Mode mod, and yeah, just added a simple Wither Storm comparable to the first mod I showed, and just really, it isn't that impressive, and it doesn't really do much, which is why I'm being quicker on this one. On to the next one. Right here, we have single-handedly the best Wither Storm mod of its time. Of like 2022 backwards, this is single-handedly the best Wither Storm mod you could get. This is, of course, the Engender mod, and oh boy, where do I even get started with this? This mod is absolutely beautiful. I love it with a passion, and I have a ton of nostalgia towards it. Admittedly, the Wither Storm was a bit overpowered, but it's supposed to be overpowered. It's not overpowered, it's not a Wither Storm. I mean, just look at it. For the time, this was a revolutionary Wither Storm mod. The Wither Storm had plenty of phases. At first, it would just be the regular Wither with a command block. Then, it would grow a back. Then, it would get its first Wither Storm head, but it wouldn't have the tractor beam yet. It got its tractor beam after it covered up the command block. After it grew just a bit more, and then, depending on what version you have, you also got a small tentacle on its smaller form, and it was just beautiful. And then it'd pop into what was dubbed its Destroyer form, which is when it first rises out of the Endercon building, and it looks like a giant T-shaped creature with 5 tentacles, and oh man, it is beautiful. Then it basically has its Redstonia form, its form where you bomb it, and then it can just keep getting larger and larger until it starts ripping off pieces of itself to form smaller severed Wither Storms. I cannot stress to you how beautiful of a mod this was. This mod was beautiful, and it still has a warm spot in the hearts of many. And BeckBroJack is a YouTuber here on YouTube, and he pretty much popularized it. Or at least I see him make the most videos using this amazing looking Wither Storm. But it's just beautiful. Okay, on to the next one, sadly. Next up, we have the Chinese Wither Storm add-on remake, which basically is one of the better add-ons out there, even to this day, in my opinion. So yeah, it starts out with a command block, then it gets a back, then it gets its classic head. You already know the deal, but then the command block gets covered up. You know how it goes. But this has things flying around it, which is revolutionary. Also, yeah, the head gets covered up eventually, but But look at the things flying around it, it's beautiful. And then it pops into its Destroyer form. And oh, this gives back so many memories of when I used to play this game. Look at those tentacles. Ain't it just beautiful? Then it gets a big old head, and that's pretty much the end of this particular add-on. Yeah, there's not much to this one, it's bare bones, but hey, it was still pretty much my childhood. And for that, I still love it. I love it a lot. Here we have the Minecraft Story Mode Retold add-on, and this is its interpretation of the Wither Storm. So, you know what? You already know the phases. I'm not even... why not? Okay. First you go with a command block, then it gets a small back, then it gets a bigger back and the head. Then it just gets a whole lot bigger and has 2 amazing tentacles. Just look at that. Then it goes into, well, You know, it's destroyer form. You know how this goes, but I need content, I guess, so I'm just gonna narrate it anyways. Then you have its form where it gets ever so slightly bigger. Then you have its Redstonia form, which, wait for it. Yep, it falls down. And then, of course, you know how it works. It rises back up after, well, a little bit of time, but look at its dead state. Isn't it just beautiful? Then it rises up. But yeah, this is more of a bare bones add-on. It doesn't really create a really powerful Witherstorm, which, of course, I think Witherstorm should be, but you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. On to the next one. Next up, we have the Witherstorm V3 Killable. Now, I wasn't able to find any of the original V3 Killable footage, or any good footage at least, but I did get footage of its most recent update, V22, so yeah, we're just gonna pretend like that exists. Anyways, you got all the basic forms, you got command block, you got back, you got destroyer form, devourer form, you know how it goes. But basically, this was another huge part of my childhood, or is a huge part of my childhood, because, man, I remember when this came out, I tried to get it for so long and it wouldn't work, and then I discovered how to mod Minecraft, and oh boy. Oh man, this just brings back so many good memories of seeing this creature in its prime. Man, this version of the Witherstorm, it could kill anything you put it up against. It really was the strongest mob. But unfortunately, like most good things, it got nerfed with its most recent updates, which really sucks. But as you can see now, you can Formidabomb it, and then you get one major Witherstorm and, of course, the two severed Witherstorms. Moving on. Next up, we have the Engender Mod add-on. It's pretty much the same as the Engender Mod, except for Bedrock Edition instead of Java Edition, so, you know what? I'm just gonna let you watch some of this footage, and, yeah, I'll be back once you've seen all of its forms, because you already know the basic rundown. Peace. Now, before we move on, I would like to say that there are many other Wither Storm add-ons. Most I will cover later on, but they come later. But there are just too many to cover. So, while I would like to cover all of them, unfortunately I cannot. Okay, I guess now we will be moving on. Chapter 5, Netflix Story Mode Edition. Minecraft Story Mode Netflix Edition was a version of Minecraft Story Mode, obviously, that was ported over to Netflix. Basically, some graphics were improved and minor changes were made to the story. Without further ado, here's some of the best Wither Storm moments from Netflix Edition.
No!
Creature, attack!
Everyone stay calm. This foul...
Creature, retreat! It's protecting itself! Without the command block exposed, the potion is useless!
Jesse, help me!
I can't defeat that thing. Not on my own. Everyone's running away. Stay together, everyone. We'll be safe as soon as we get to my temple.
Oh no!
Please hurry.
That's not good.
Is that your Wither Storm? How are
Is it destabilizing?
No!
Jesse!
Worry about what they're running away from.
I feel like that got bigger.
Remember, once the Formidabomb is crafted,
What you're doing means we're all gonna die!
What? Eat this. Yeah! But I thought you were dead. I saw you.
What happened here?
I'll explain everything, just not right now. Get out of here now. This way. Look out! Don't look back.
Ah! I looked.
Again, command block. Now it's time to destroy you. Awesome weapon, don't fail me now. Holy moly! Time to put an end to this thing once and for... Reuben! Hold on, buddy! Reuben! No! Ah!
Chapter 5, Little Big Planet. Here we have the Little Big Planet 3 Witherstorm recreation. And honestly, this is quite fun. Oh, I just hit my knee. Anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, as you can see, everything's happy. You're walking in a field. And then this happens. The Witherstorm in its omnipresence, destructive glory, whatever the Witherstorm is. It rises out of the ground and you have to flee for your life while it beams down tractor beams at you. If you get caught and it does suck you up. Anyway, once you finally get to the goalpost, it eats it. And then it tractor beams you up and eats you. And then it spawns you in at the real goalpost. So really, it's quite impressive. I don't know how hard it is to do something like this, but hey, seems pretty neat, if you ask me. Chapter 6, Fan Creations. First off, I would like to mention these little animations of the Witherstorm, which, if you look hard enough, are quite common. They are just little 2D renderings of the Witherstorm that show him going from phase 0 all the way to phase, I don't even know anymore. He has too many phases, depending on what logic you're going by. Anyways, yeah, these are quite common play. Here are some good ones. You got a more simpler one, then you got this one you see right here, which, depending on how you look at it, never mind. Anyway, yeah, I got Formidabond, but you also got some recreations that took the Wither Storm in a different light, like this one that gives it a whole new fancy look. 5 heads and purple crystals all over its body. So here we have a 3D Wither Storm evolution, which of course are common animations. First you got it in its first form, then you can actively see it growing, but in 3D, which honestly is quite cooler. Then I've edited it a little, but you got it in its destroyer form. Then you got the Formidabond, just, you know, pretty basic sum up of the Wither Storm. Then it obviously gets its command block energy back. It wakes up again, and then it just starts destroying everything. Yeah, nothing can survive a powerful, hungry Wither Storm. So yeah, that's basically 3D Wither Storm evolution. Next up we have an animation, but it's a very specific animation. It is the Wither Storm versus Witherzilla animation. And this went pretty viral for a small amount of time in the Wither Storm community. But anyway, basically it shows the Wither Storm fighting what is probably the most powerful Minecraft entity of all time, Witherzilla. Well, at least he was, and then the Wither Storm happened. But here's some highlights from the Wither Storm versus Witherzilla animation. Next up, we have some Wither Storm recreations that were made in the game Spore. And well, here's a decent look at them. Next up, we have 2 Wither Storms that were made out of Legos. Again, here's some good shots of the Lego Wither Storms.
I wish someone would put me on LEGO ideas. Unfortunately, Witherstorm, only projects from IPs that LEGO has not already licensed are eligible for LEGO ideas. Since there is already a LEGO Minecraft line, you are ineligible. Yeah, but like, does story mode count? Also, what's with your voice? I don't know, what's with your voice? Good point. Well, I'm sad that I can't be on LEGO ideas, but at least now people in the comments will know and not leave comments asking to put me on LEGO ideas. Right, commenters?
Now that the Witherstorm has been created, it's definitely gonna kill us and stuff, you know, by eating up everything in its path. I don't know, Alex. Maybe we'll survive. Maybe.
Stop. Godzilla's here. I'll take on the Witherstorm.
Next up, I have found two animations that I'm aware of that have references to the Witherstorm in it, so I thought I'd show you. I almost guarantee there are, and if you find any others, let me know, but here, I'll let you watch. That was a nifty little reference to the Witherstorm in the animation Order of the Sword. It will be linked in the description if you want to go watch it, which I highly recommend. Also, the next Witherstorm reference is by Merryweather Comics in her Minecraft anime series. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, Creeper? Are you okay? What? What is this? It's almost like it's staring directly into my soul. Is this what you wanted me to see, Creeper?
Steve!
Huh?
What is that disgusting thing?
That's what you were focused on? Not this mural of death itself with the cat?
Yeah.
Steve,
一緒に遊ぼう。
誰だこの子。
ねえ、スティーブ。世界が終わる前にもう一度遊んでくれる？
And I'm not entirely sure, but from what I've seen, it would look like their design for a regular Wither is inspired by the Withered Storm.
あいつがやってきました。私たちを破滅に落とすものが。
Now, I would like to mention that a YouTuber called Angie Girl had put her own lyrics over the Witherstorm theme, and I think that's cool, and since it involves the Witherstorm, I have involved it in this video. Without further ado, here's a small taste of the song.
Monsters run!
Architect's line. How can that thought he was right? An accident destroyed all light.
Now honestly, to me that's pretty cool. If you want to listen to the full version, the link will be in the description. And if you want me to make my own lyrics to the Witherstorm theme, get this video to 50 likes. I don't often ask for likes, especially a large amount, but 50 likes and yeah, I guess I'll just have to make my own lyrics, so yeah. Next up, we have mod simply called Witherstorm mod. I didn't know exactly where else to put this, so here. Funny story, I was looking so hard to find good footage of this mod, and then this video just appeared out of nowhere. So stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 with the tractor beam, you got Destroyer stage, which looks pretty good. Look at... Actually, no. Listen, if you're the creator, I don't mean anything by this, but this isn't the best Witherstorm mod. I mean, it's more than I could do, but at the same time, like,
Danny, what are you doing?
Leave me alone.
But Danny, it's 3 a.m.
I said leave me alone!
But Danny!
Leave me alone! Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. Chapter 7. Cracker's Witherstorm mod. Cracker's Witherstorm mod is the newest and arguably the best Witherstorm mod the world has ever seen. It adds the Witherstorm from Minecraft Story Mode as the name suggests, and it modifies it, adding simple tweaks. For example, the sky darkens. The Witherstorm has 7 phases. Phase 0, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 6, Phase 7, also Phase 7 with hole, and yeah. After it reaches Phase 5.5, it will start summoning a withered symbiote. And the withered symbiote is completely invulnerable except for a small crack on its back, which can actually have damage to it. You can use that to craft a Formidabomb or a super weapon. If you use the Formidabomb, the Witherstorm will die, but then it will rise up as 3. Then you must wait to craft the super weapon until a hole opens up in its belly to go inside the Witherstorm and strike down the command block. Now, from this mod stemmed tons of other mods, but for bedrock. For example, the very first Crackers Witherstorm bedrock port by Fizzler X. And of course, the mod isn't of as good of quality because it's on Bedrock Edition, but hey, considering this came out only like a month or two after the first did, it's pretty impressive. Now, of course, you got phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and you know what? I think I might just give you a good look at all the stuff this mod has to offer. So without further ado, I think I'll be quiet. Now, of course, this wasn't the only add-on to come out. There were tons of other add-ons being released almost every day. Some of great quality, some not so much. But what we did get was the Chinese Witherstorm add-on. Here's a good look at it. Next thing we have to do with the Witherstorm is the 57's basic Witherstorm add-on. And as you can see, it added some weird mutated looking version of the Witherstorm with horns and stuff. Now, it has all the different phases, and I will go through them now. Okay, to successfully summon the Ancient Witherstorm, you would have to put an Ancient command block in the Witherstorm, giving you phase 1. Then you got phase 2, it grows a little with a tentacle. Phase 4, I guess I skipped over 3, but yeah, phase 4. Phase 5 with massive, ribcage, tentacle. What's neat about the Ancient Witherstorm is it has horns and it summons little Ancient Wither minions, and now it's exploding. Whee! Anyways, you got phase 6. It grows a bit bigger, much bigger back right there, with the command block spinning in its exposed ribcage. Then you got the final form of the Ancient Witherstorm, where it just gets absolutely massive. This thing will kill anything in its path. You also get little Witherstorm Severed Minions, or Severed Ancient Witherstorm, as this mod dubs it, and this is what the Witherstorm looks like after it dies. Anyway, moving on to the new part of this mod, which is the Ender Dragon Storm. So you see, you put a ancient command block into a ender dragon. Then, in its phase 2, it gets a tentacle and grows slightly bigger in size. Then, in phase 3, it gets 2 tentacles and gets much bigger in size. And you can see the difference between this and another dragon. Then, in phase 4, it gets 4 tentacles, and finally the Ender Dragon Storm. It is absolutely massive, has 4 wings and 6 tentacles, and that's what it looks like when it dies. Impressive, I know. Next up, we have Wither Black Hole the Storm mod. And basically, it adds the Black Hole Wither Storm, as you can see. Take a pretty good amount of time to summon in, and then you just get this. Now, unlike other mods, it didn't grow, so it's not the most advanced mod, but it does look pretty neat, but I wish we did get more out of it. Anyway, you see, this is what it looks like after it dies. Sorry, the footage has 2 Void Wither Storms just dying, so you get to see it twice, and then you see this wackadoodle summoning demonic thing, whatever this is. I don't know, folks. I try my hardest, but I just don't. Next up, we have another add-on created by the same man as the 57's Disc Ancient Witherstorm mod. As you can see, it starts in phase 0, then it grows a bit, and nice particles surrounding it, by the way. But what's unique about this mod is the tractor beam is actually circular, and you can see it's just growing bigger and bigger. And now it has a tentacle. Look at that. Now, what you'll notice about the 57, I'm just gonna call him Mr. 57 because that's pretty much what all this stuff goes by. By the way, I think this is called the 57's Witherstorm mod, or add-on. As you can see, it just keeps growing bigger and bigger till you get it in its destroyer form, I believe, in which you can Formidabomb it. So here's a look at that. As you can see, now it's just lying there dead until you punch it. Once you punch it, the Wither Storm reawakens, which is honestly quite neat. And then it grows bigger with 5 tentacles. Then you get its biggest form, which this is the form that will really start ending your world. Look at that, isn't it amazing what some people can do? Then you can actually enter the belly of the beast where there is a boss fight, so I'll let this man, Ender Fox MC, which actually is quite a prominent figure in the Witherstorm community, so yeah, here's the fight. I know I kinda skipped most of the fight, but does it really matter? So, next up, we actually have a mod made by Ender Fox MC, which talked about a little earlier. Anyway, what you'll know about this is in its first phase is, well, the corners are rounded out. You got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, where it's grown a bit. Phase 4 got a tractor beam. But yeah, something about this Witherstorm just screams that it has a unique design to me. Anyways, it's destroyer form. Dang it. I'm the Witherstorm man, I should know this by now. And that's its Redstonia form. And that's basically all the mad mod ads. Moving on before I can't speak no more. Okay, next up we have yet again another Wither Storm mod by Mr. 57 called 57's Basic Wither Storm, and as you can see, the first thing that this add-on adds is a command warden. And doesn't it just look beautiful when it dies? The second thing that this mod adds is the Stormborn mini-boss, which is basically like a more powerful withered symbiote. I mean, look at that thing go. Not quite as cool of a death animation when it dies, but you know what we got next. Is the one and only Wither Storm. Now, obviously it starts off in Phase 0, or 1. Phase 2, where it gets the first blocks ring in, a bit bigger in back. Phase 3, where it gets the Wither Storm head and therefore a tractor beam. Phase 4, where it gets 2 more Wither Storm heads and 3 tentacles. And then finally Phase 5, which is its Destroyer form. Now, this is a bit of a small Destroyer form, but still pretty neat. I like the design of this one. I like it a lot. Then you got it in its 6th form, then its 7th form, which this is when you get to quote-unquote Formidabomb it, aka what this mod dubs a Void Nuke, as the creator puts it, a more original Formidabomb, so here's that. As you can see, the nuke's been dropped and the Wither Storm falls apart. Now, of course, once you punch the command block, it will reawaken. Although much stronger than before, because now there's 3 of them. This is its... You know what? I lost count of the phases, and to be honest, I'm too lazy to fix that, so... You got its phase where it gets more heads, and this is its final form. Now, to kill the Wither Storm, you'll need to use an arrowhead dropped by the Stormborn to give you a super arrow. And as you can see, it dies in an epic shade of purple glory. Whee! You can see it spawns in the normal Wither, and then we have the more unfortunate part of this mod, which is the Anime Warden girl. Yep, this is a fun mod. Here we have the very first add-on I covered, which was Fizzler X's Wither Storm add-on, except it's been revamped. That's right, revamped. So basically everything is HD. So you got all of its different phases, and look at that tractor beam. Isn't that tractor beam just beautiful? Also like the way that the particles around it look. Of course, this is phase 3, and personally, in my opinion, this looks a heck of a lot better than the first one. Like, take what I said about how the first one doesn't look good because it was like the first try, and completely scratch it because it looks good now. I mean, just look at that beautiful thing. They even got the withered symbiote fight in here. And as you can see, the tractor beam works. And beamed up. And here is the Formidabomb, so I'll let you watch that real quick. as you can see, pretty much like every other Formidabomb, the Wither Storm drops down and is dead until you go near the command block, which then it rises up once more. Which, honestly, this is pretty impressive. This is a lot better than Fizzler X's first attempt. I mean, look at that thing go. Then, of course, you have it where it gets bigger and it has all of its heads. And then you have the actual fight, which you can see the bowels have been added. You've got the heads and the tentacles don't really line up, but we don't have to talk about that. Anyway, hit 1, hit 2, hit 3. Finally, hit 4 will be the one to put out the storm. Or put the storm out of its misery. And bada bing, bada boom, the storm has fallen. Now I'll let you watch as it disintegrates. And that's pretty much all it has to show. Moving on. Now, I must mention probably the most well-known Witherstorm project, which is trying to port Cracker's Witherstorm into Bedrock, which is by Tazalato and the Holy Peanut. I probably pronounced Tazalato's name wrong. If I did, I am sorry, on the, 1% chance that you're watching this and you made it this far into the video. Anyway, Tazalato and the Holy Peanuts add-on basically adds the storm. To my knowledge, it is still under development. It's been under development for almost over a year now. And we haven't got much, but I believe they are trying to. So, yeah. I don't got much to commentate on this one. Moving on. Before we continue, I found this funny dancing cat in my footage, so enjoy it! Anyway, next up, we have the revamped Chinese Witherstorm mod. So obviously you have it in Phase 0, super evil mean. Then it grows a small little lump on its back. Now this is just the beginning of its evolutioning, because then it grows slightly bigger and gets, well, an obviously bigger back. By the way, I'm pretty sure these models are taken right out of story mode, but now it has the little surrounding particles, and now it has its first Witherstorm head. I'm not sure if you saw there, it was just my editing software, but I thought the screen just glitched. It's probably not then. Anyway, then it covers up the command block, and then it gets its first tractor beam, and that poor squid doesn't even know what's coming to it. Oh man, it's gonna die. Then it gets its tentacle, and its back gets slightly bigger, and that's all for the pre-destroyer stages. Here we have its destroyer stage. It gets its heads, they pop into existence. It has the little rings of debris around it, and it absorbs and destroys everything around it, as you can see. Then you got it in its Redstonia form, where obviously it has the two big tentacles with the more other tentacles below it. And one of my friends pointed this out one time, but the Witherstorm with the two big tentacles and the smaller tentacles underneath kinda looks like a squid. Anyway, it's Formidabomb time. And obviously this is in its Devourer form. there it goes. And just like that, the Wither Storm falls and dies. And then, of course, once you get close to the command block, it reawakens itself. Goes roar, wakes up, and then all heck breaks loose, as now there are 3 main Wither Storms devouring everything. And again, I'm pretty sure these models are taken right out of story mode. Then you got its, what I like to call end of the world phase, where it just supermassive 3 heads, and this is the phase where it just starts destroying everything. Look at that beautiful monstrosity. Of course, eventually it gets a hole in its stomach, and then you can enter the bowels of the Wither Storm. And look at that beautiful ribcage. Or, is there a ribcage? You know what, it's not important. But then, hit 1, activates the fight. Hit 2 gets some monsters spawning. Hit 3 gets a symbiote spawning. Hit 4 does some damage and activates the Wither Storm heads, and then of course the final head just takes down the storm. Watch as everything goes white and the storm dies. Now that you're out of the storm, it'll start falling apart, so yeah, this is pretty fun. But now we have to move on. So apparently, while doing this, the Crackers Wither Storm mod has been updated, and I am gonna show a little more on that, but first I found this frickin' hilarious video on how to re-summon the Wither Storm, because apparently that's a thing that you are capable of doing now? So from here, I'm just gonna let you watch it, and yeah, it's pretty funny, so enjoy.
Yeah. Look at that. It's creating a command block. We did it, boys. We've ruined the world again. We've summoned the Wither Storm, and now we're all doomed. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Chernobyl all over. Why do you look so goofy?
Bro, I know there ain't no way he just said the Wither Storm looks goofy. Anyway, here's a little touch-up on the update, as I promised. Crackers Wither Storm, a block in a hard place update. Adds new sicken mobs, like some villagers. It adds a night glare, which makes him glow at night. It adds a smart boss spire, which makes it to where when you're not looking at it, it disappears. A new Wither Sicken layer, better performance. You can re-summon the Wither Storm, baby! And of course, he looks goofy. You get the Withered Beacon, which gives you all those effects. New blocks, an amulet overhaul, and my personal favorite part, the bowels have been redone. Chapter 8, Yet More Fan Projects and Spin-Offs. With the ever-growing popularity of the Crackers Wither Storm mod, it is only natural that it would be mixed with one of the other most popular Minecraft things, which is 100-day survival challenges. Now, of course, most of them are well, fake or just skits planned, but some of them come with cool animations like this, or heck, even pretty cool custom models like this. Of course, they don't follow the exact path of the Wither Storm, and they take a lot of liberties. And I mean a lot of liberties. It hurts me as a Wither Storm fan to see them change up the original Wither Storm so much, but at the same time, like, I'm definitely reading too much into this. And anyway, as you can see, this one has the Wither Storm get mutated into a weird looking form of itself. And, it dies. Oof, how sad. But one of the more creative things I've seen be done with it is 10,000 villagers versus a mutant wither, aka, well, we all know it's the Wither Storm, but I thought that model of the Wither Storm looked beautiful, and also, it gets mutated, so yeah, can't get better than that. I mean, first it has a tail, and it's like all purple and glowy, and it's neat in my opinion, but then it turns into like some Hydra monster. It looks like if an axolotl became a Wither Storm. The axolotl storm, how about it? But yeah, in my opinion, that's pretty neat. Of course, it does upset me a little with all the misinformation that gets spread about the Wither Storm due to stuff like this, but hey, it's cool, it's cool. Now, with the popularity of Cracker's Wither Storms, there are even more fan projects and spin-offs that come off. For example, look at this. It's a lava Wither Storm. A freaking lava Wither Storm. Like, who comes up with this? This is brilliant. It's a Wither Storm made of lava. I'd like to see someone actually make like a lava Wither Storm mod, because this is just a retexturing for now. Someone did something similar with an elemental Wither Storm. It's a Wither Storm with all the elements. I mean, if that was like an actual threat to this world, we couldn't beat it. It would be unbeatable. Look. Now, one thing that always has confused me is why mod videos like this always love using the severed Wither Storm instead of like, you know, the regular Wither Storm faces. And look at this! A Warden Wither Storm! Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna be quiet real quick, because there's something real funny coming up. Here, I'll let you watch it.
Okay, here it goes. I blasted my laser through the mountain, cutting the entire thing in half.
Well, there goes my home.
My bad.
No, I brought this upon myself.
Now, I remember when I first watched this video, that part in particular made me die of laughter. Anyway, moving. Now, look at this. Someone actually made like a little stick figure animation of just the Wither Storm growing. This is insane! How do people do this? It's quite beautiful, really. Now, with the success of the Cracker's Wither Storm mod, there have also been recreations of the Wither Storm's origins. For example, this takes away from the original story of Minecraft Story Mode. It references it, but poses this as the true origin of the Minecraft Wither Storm. And it shows about how a wither was summoned and a corrupt scientist used the command block to defeat it and then used it to experiment on withers, and then how those experiments finally led to the destruction of the universe with the Wither Storm being born again. It's really quite amazing. But, of course, with every popular thing you get cheap cash grabs like this that use the name of something popular and just completely butcher it like, what is this? You got a wither getting married? You don't get married in Minecraft. It's Minecraft. There are thugs. What the heck is this? You got zombie thugs and guns in Minecraft. What kind of crap is this? It's a cheap cash grab. That's what it is. And then they don't even stick anything to the wither storm. They just use its shape. Stuff like this really hurts my soul, if you cannot tell. It would eat the bullets! They won't even make it to its skin. What is it? What is this? No manches. I don't like this. Next up, we have the Happy's Wither Storm Simulator. Now, I've played this before. I can personally say that it's a beautiful Wither Storm simulator. You start off as the Wither Storm in Endercon. You start growing and eating blocks all around you. If you're good, you can survive the potion, but let's be honest, you have to be really bad if you die to the potion in the beginning, like, really bad. Anyways, then it rises up out of Endercon. It starts eating everything. You get to Gabriel's temple, and you actually have to destroy his temple. Like, this is a fun thing. This is a really fun thing. It got quite popular when it was first released. And honestly, it still has quite a few fans. But then you can either go to Redstonia or Boomtown and just absolutely devour everything. Like, look at this. This player's getting blown apart, but he be devouring everything. Nothing stands a chance, and he just keeps growing and growing and growing. Look at that. He's already in his end of world phase, or his, what I like to call his oh gosh, I got his phase up. It's his beginning phases, his destroyer stage, his Redstonia stage, his devourer stage, his reborn stage, and his end of the world stage. And well, that's where it ended in story mode. But after his end of the world stage, I like to just say it goes to his true devouring stage. And that's pretty much all of the Wither Storm phases. But as you can see in this game, you just keep going bigger and bigger until you get to, let's see, what was his name? What's his face? Soren. You get to Soren's Fortress. You get to Soren's Fortress, and he starts actually deleting everything. And then you actually go inside, and you fight Jesse, because you play as the Wither Storm, which is amazing. And if you're a good enough player, which, let me tell you, I was not. Anyway, if you're a good enough player, you can slay Jesse, and you can become the ruling threat of this universe, growing bigger and bigger until there's nothing left of the world. Is what I would say if this didn't infinitely generate worlds, so yeah, have fun, because if you beat Jesse, you can just keep going for eternity. And that's all. Moving on. Chapter 9. What comes next? What comes next for the Wither Storm? This question is hard to answer, but I think a better question is, how long is the Wither Storm going to stay relevant? And for that, I say, considering there are thousands of videos uploaded every day, so much stuff just about the Wither Storm, I think it's safe to say that it's going to remain a thing for a long time, and unlike story mode, it's gonna last a lot longer. I think that many great things are just yet to come for the Wither Storm. Heck, I know the Wither Storm will stay within relevance. For example, some of the biggest YouTubers make videos on the Wither Storm, or have made videos, such as BeckBroJack. Heck, even Creekcraft recently had an encounter with the Wither Storm. Here's some of Creekcraft's footage.
What the what? Bro, what? Holy snap! Yo, that's the arm, that's the arm! Oh snap, dude! Yo, that's the Wither! That's the Wither Storm! That's literally, oh my god. Oh. Oh, heck nah! Died to the flippin' Wither!
And that's not to mention that there's a frickin' Roblox port of the Wither Storm. The Wither Storm's gonna be in Roblox. How crazy is that? I mean, seriously. This Wither Storm was born from the ashes of a game long forgotten, and yet still it manages to rise up being one of the most popular topics of today, even if the community around it can be toxic. W music. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's all there really is to say about this. Well, without further ado, moving on. Chapter 10, The End. In conclusion, I think it is safe to say that for now the Wither Storm is going nowhere. So if you've enjoyed this painstakingly long video, please like and subscribe. Remember, if this video gets to 50 likes, I will make my own lyrics for the Wither Storm theme song. This has taken about a month and a half to edit, so yeah, I have a few headaches. Anyway, yeah. Like, subscribe, and I will see you another day. Peace! It's finished. It's actually finished. Hours and hours of work. Finally finished. You know what? Just to make sure, I should probably check and make sure I got everything. Wither Storm.
Getting The Witcher from Netflix.
Witcher? Huh? No! Yes, I got that. I got that. I've gotten all.